Alright, I'm going to keep this introduction brief since it is a long video. As a huge hockey fan, which you might have guessed from some of my other content on my channel, I've accumulated a large collection of jerseys over many years, and I thought it'd be fun to rank them from 1 to 41. I hope you enjoy this video and hopefully learn a little history of these teams and their uniforms. Please feel free to comment on your favorites below in the comment section. Thank you. Alright, starting off, we've got a tan Minnesota State Maverick jersey. This was a third jersey that they wore a few years ago, and yeah, it's last on my list, ranked number 39, just because it's a blank jersey. There's some nice embroidery in the corner there, and down the name, and it's reminiscent of the New York Rangers jersey style, so that was nice. But the rest of the jersey, not very exciting. Would have been nice to get a name and number put on the back, but just didn't get to it. And I do wear it to the games every once in a while, but it's still, not the most interesting jersey, so that's why it's last on my list. Alright, next up, this is the away jersey of the 1980 USA Olympic hockey team. So it will look exactly like the one in the movie that they wore. It's the same brand, K1, as you can see right there. You can see it's not, the nicest jersey material, kind of like a football jersey material. Not very heavyweight like most hockey jerseys, so that was one of the reasons I ranked it pretty low. This is, 38th on the list, and there's nothing on the back, but I actually have the white version of this jersey being framed as we speak, with the Mark Johnson name on the back. It's also been signed by Mark Johnson, so that's very beautiful. It will make a great wall piece. But this one itself, it kind of just reminds me of New York Rangers jersey. Very simple, classic, but not the most interesting, and that's why it's ranked number 38 on the list. Alright, next on the list, number 37. This is my first and actually first Maverick jersey that I bought. And it's the only one I have which has the Stampa logo on it. But it's ranked pretty low because the rest of the jersey is pretty plain. I'm not a huge fan of the way they did the striping here with the black and purple line down the side. It's a very international style. I don't think it works very well in any level of college hockey. I like the jerseys they've worn a little more traditional, kind of like that first one I shown, with different colors. But the logo itself is beautifully embroidered, as you can see right there. Really nice close-up on that. And after all these years, the jersey isn't stained much, so that's pretty cool. But overall, kind of happy that they went in a different direction as far as jersey design, and that's why this one's ranked number 37 on the list. Alright, coming in on number 36, this is one of my first jerseys I ever bought. It's an adult small, so when I first bought it, it fit me like a dress. Now it's one of my smallest jerseys in my collection, but it is my favorite color, teal, so that gives it props. But overall, it's not very high on my list just because I wasn't a huge fan of the 90s style that they went with in terms of having the really long lines down the side. Kind of reminiscent of a fin, but overall, I just think that the jersey could have been a lot better. If it had a name and a number on the back, that would be really cool. But for now, just kind of a plain jersey. The logo's really cool. Definitely reminds me of the 90s. But definitely a jersey that I don't wear very often. And, that's why it's pretty low on my list. Alright, next on the list at number 35. This is a really nice jersey. I'm kind of surprised it's this low on my list. Just kind of have tough going between all the ones at the bottom. Then, the ones that get progressively better definitely do. This is a really nice jersey. It would have a name, if it had a name on a number on the back, it'd definitely be a lot higher on my list. But for being plain black, it's just not as cool. But this, as far as logo goes, this is my favorite Buffalo Sabres logo they ever wore. I really wish they would have stuck with these uniforms. They went to the Stanley Cup final wearing these. This is what I think of when I think of the Buffalo Sabres, from back in the day. I really like the jersey design down the side here with the triangle pattern. That's pretty unique, and I think the striping works pretty well. I really like the secondary logo of the B here. That's really well done. So yeah, overall a really nice jersey, just a little bit plain, and also the white stripes on the sides don't really make sense. Kind of makes me think of a practice jersey. So a really nice jersey, just pretty low on my list because of all the black going on. All right, at number 34 on my list, this is the Florida Panthers jersey. I wanted to mention, at the beginning of this video that all these jerseys are basically my favorite jerseys that the team has ever worn, and so that's the reason I picked their jersey. This is another case where I really like this jersey design. This is the Reebok design where the stripes kind of come down halfway down. I'm not a huge fan of that design, but I really like Reebok in general. Most of my jerseys are Reebok. This logo, though, is just made by this logo. It's so beautifully embroidered. I think it's really well done, super hard, gonna last forever. And I'm also a huge fan of these patches right here with the palm tree and the stick. I really like it when the corner patches incorporate, the location of the team or the secondary logo really well. So overall, I really like this jersey. It doesn't have a name or a number on the back. That's why it's number 35 on my list. But it's a really nice jersey and one I wish the Florida Panthers would still wear today instead of what they're currently wearing. Okay, at number 33 on the list is the Ottawa Senators jersey that they most recently wore, last year. So it's the same jersey basically. This is the Reebok version. They now wear the Adidas version. Again, just like Florida Panthers, I really love this logo. You can see the sparkle in there. Vegas kind of uses that sparkle as well. I'm a big fan of that sparkle being in there. Those colors are great, I think. I don't know why Ottawa does not like this jersey. I think it's beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their other jerseys. I also really like the nod to the old logo right there. It's a little bit faded, but you can see the O and the black and red of the flag. This jersey is really nice on the ice as well. Really like the numbers and everything. But this one is kind of plain. And again, this is a small, so this is one of my older jerseys. And but it's still really cool, and I enjoy wearing it every once in a while during the Sens games. Okay, coming in at number 32, this is the other another Maverick jersey. I have several. One of them was signed by the entire team and is now also being framed. Very similar to the first jersey on my list, actually. But this one is really beautiful. This is my favorite Maverick jersey. I really like the logo. Again, it's embroidered beautifully. I like how they incorporated the circle. I like the striping on this more than any of my other jerseys by the Mavericks, even though there's no striping on the bottom. It looks great on the ice. I really enjoyed it that they wore this 2 years. And yeah, overall, it's just a really nice jersey for being plain. It's really hard to make a plain jersey really nice, but they did a really good job with this one. And again, I wish I would have had one with the player's name and number on the back. I would probably wear it a lot more often. But in this case, it's still a beautiful jersey. I don't have to go to the games and hope I have any player going. So yeah, it's just great. And that's why it's the highest on my list in terms of Maverick jerseys. All right, number 31 on my list. This is my first classic or vintage jersey. This is the Houston Whalers, and this is a beautiful jersey. Just because it's plain is probably why it's pretty low on my list. But again, I mention this a lot. The logo is a really big deal. I really like it when it's embroidered well. I'm also a huge fan of the whaler, little whale on the side there on both sleeves. That's a really nice touch. I don't know if that was on all their jerseys over the years. Overall, I think this is probably a better jersey than any of the Carolina Hurricanes' current jerseys, and I really enjoy when they wear it in a vintage game. But yeah, these colors are great. I would love to see maybe Seattle go with these colors, even though Vancouver already has them. But the green is really nice. Not a lot of teams wear this type of bright green other than Dallas right now. So I wish someone would bring back these colors in some capacity because this is a really nice jersey. And yeah, there's just too many teams wearing darker colors today, so this would be great to see again. Okay, number 30, this is another vintage jersey, but I think, again, this is my favorite jersey that this team has ever worn, and I wish they would go back to it full time. The white jersey looks beautiful. The black one is gorgeous. This is my favorite logo that Phoenix has ever worn as a franchise. I think it's, just a great hockey logo. I love the color scheme. The pattern at the bottom really makes the jersey for me. No other team has worn any pattern similar to this. Carolina has the one with the flag, but this one just pops so much more to me. Also, really like the little touch of the corner logo, Phoenix Coyotes. That's really well done. And I just think this was a great color scheme for Phoenix. I don't really like what they have right now, and I wish they would go back to this. The fans seem to love it, and I'm a huge fan, so that's number 30. All right, on number 29, this is a really cool jersey. I wish Nashville would have worn it more than one season. This was a third jersey they wore, and it's just got a lot of really great detail. I'm a huge fan of this logo color scheme. I know their current logo is really well done. I love the yellow, and you might see it a little bit later on my list. But I just like the black, silver, and the red eye really pops with the navy jersey. I'm also a huge fan of, this checkerboard in the corner patch here with the saber tooth. That's really cool. I wish they would have used that more. And you can also, can't really tell, but there's a black checkerboard pattern going on. You can kind of see it there, but it's so subtle because the jersey's a little bit too dark. And I'm not a huge fan of the way the neckline was so large. This was a jersey that I didn't get from the NHL manufacturer, and it kind of can tell, but it's really cool, and it's got Shea Weber on the back, and this is my first jersey with a name, so that is why it's number 29 on my list. All right, at number 28, this is my green Minnesota Wild jersey with Zach Parise on the back. I can flip that over for you to see, but it's pretty much just like all the other name jerseys. I really like the logo on this one. Really makes the jersey for me. The Wild kind of incorporated this logo with the M in a few of their future designs, so I was a really big fan of that. But overall, it's not the most interesting jersey. The green and the tan don't really work for me. I wish there was more red incorporated into this jersey, either around the numbers or on the shoulders or somewhere. It's just too much green, and the jersey with the rest of the uniform is a lot of green. So that's why it's low on my list in terms of Wild jerseys, who I do think have some of the better uniforms in the league. This is the Reebok version, and so this one is on my list at number 28, Zach Parise, Minnesota Wild. All right, number 26, this is a beauty. This is another vintage jersey, but it's also the current jersey of the Chicago Blackhawks. There's a reason that they've been, rated as one of the best logos in all of sports, and you can just see why there. It's just beautifully embroidered, and the colors just pop. I'm a fan of this jersey as being their best jersey. I know the red one is very popular, but to me, this one looks the best on the ice and looks the best in person. This is Bobby Hull's jersey. He wore a couple of different numbers over the years, 16 and 9. This is 9. I'm a big fan of this secondary logo with the C and the two hammers. I mean, that's just iconic. And I really like the neckline of this as opposed to what they currently wear. This will be the first jersey I'll flip, just so you can kind of get a sense of the back. It's really well done. The 9 is really nice. And this one's number 26 on my list, even though I think it's a really nice jersey, and I definitely would like to wear this one quite a bit. All right, coming in on number 25, I don't own a lot of white jerseys. They get dirty a lot quicker, and overall I just don't think they're very nice jerseys compared to the dark ones. But this one is an exception. I really like this jersey. I think it's the best jersey that Toronto's ever worn. I love this logo. They've had a couple of logos in their past, but this one I think is the best. It just screams Canadian to me. This one's Dion Phaneuf. He's not my favorite player there, but it was a really good deal on the jersey, and so that's why I got it. I like the striping on this jersey. It just screams classic to me, And overall, I just wish that Toronto would wear this as their regular home jersey or regular road jersey, just because there's a lot more color to it. I like the color on the shoulders and the bottom. And if you take those away, that's pretty much their current jersey. But I think it needs it in order to be a really nice jersey and one that kind of stands out from the rest of the league. All right, at 24, this is kind of a controversial pick because a lot of people didn't love this jersey. I think it's beautiful. I'm a graphic designer, and I really enjoy the designs that this jersey really took the risk of doing. In terms of it not being symmetrical, you can see there's different striping on the left sleeve to the right sleeve, and also there's a gradient pattern that's on the left side of the logo that does not continue to the right side. I really like how the logo incorporates with the stripes. I think that's really clever. There's also striping on the shoulders that is very unique. And, this is my favorite Pittsburgh logo that they've ever worn. I think it's a really nice logo. I'm not a huge fan of the penguin with the hockey stick. I think it's just kind of old and kind of tacky. But, the back of this jersey is also beautiful. If you look at it, really big Lemieux. You can see that jersey striping continue where it just kind of gets split down the middle. This is one of my biggest jerseys and one of them that is really fond to me in my collection. Mario Lemieux, one of the best players ever. I definitely want to have a jersey from some iconic players, and this is one of the first ones you'll see. Bobby Hull was another one on the list. All right, at number 23, this is this is one of the many outdoor jerseys that Detroit has worn, but this is my favorite. I just love the D. I know they haven't incorporated D very much in their uniform. It kind of makes me think of the Dayton Flyers, but I just like the white stripe that goes down there. It looks great. The back of the jersey is pretty plain, but I can show you that as well. The corner patch is beautiful. You can see this was in the Stadium Series against Colorado, a game in which they won. And this was just a great jersey. I like the little established and the Red Wings on the sleeve. I think that's a really nice touch. And this is just a super clean jersey and one that fits with the rest of Detroit. So yeah, if I flip this one around, you can see that it's got that Detroit Red Wings logo on the back on the corner. And then of course this is Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, considered one of the greatest hockey players of all time, and also the guy to play the longest. But this was just a classic jersey. Had to get Gordie Howe on the back, and super happy with this one. All right, at number 2, the vintage jerseys and iconic players continues. This one is Mark Messier. This is the New York Rangers home jersey. They've won this one, it seems like, forever. This was the jersey that he wore during that iconic 1994 Stanley Cup run in which he made the guarantee against New Jersey and then ended up winning the series against Vancouver. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the New York Rangers uniforms in general. This one I think looks really well done on the back. If I flip it, I just like how the numbers are 3D and really pop like that. The name is really nice as well. If I just move that over, you can see that this one is well made. And this one is very similar to that USA jersey I had early in the list. But you can see how having a name and a number really makes the rest of the jersey pop. And, it's not my favorite home jersey in the league, but being Mark Messier and how well the jersey is made, that's why it's number 22 on my list. All right, 21. This is definitely not a representation of my, favorite teams in the league, because this is my second favorite team in the league, the Washington Capitals, and it's my favorite player, Alex Ovechkin. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of their jersey as it's by itself. I think it looks really nice with the rest of the uniform, and it's one of the best in the league. But this logo, it's definitely not one of their best in their history. The Stanley Cup patch, I think, is a really nice addition to this jersey when they finally won after all those years. My favorite part of the jersey is actually the corner patch right here with the eagle and the capital, which you can't quite see. I think that's their best logo that they currently have, and I wish it was their primary logo and it was on their jersey in some way, kind of like the Montreal Canadiens. I think that would really look nice in the colors that they have it. I will flip this one just to show you that it is an Alex Ovechkin jersey. They pretty much had this jersey ever since Ovechkin has been on the team, and I still think it's a really nice jersey with the rest of the uniform. I just wish they used a different logo and moved with that eagle a little bit more. All right, coming in at number 20, this is again one of my favorite teams, but not one of my favorite jerseys, mostly just because it's mostly red. You'll see from my jerseys that are a little higher on the list, there's things that make all the jerseys unique, and this one just isn't super unique other than that really awesome logo with the wheel and the feathers, that just screams Detroit Red Wings. This is one of my favorite players though, Pavel Datsyuk, and one of the jerseys I wear the most just because it is Detroit, and they had all those great years of making the playoffs. I will flip this one just to show you that it is Pavel Datsyuk. I think one of the best players to play during his era. He will definitely go to the Hall of Fame with his Stanley Cup wins, and just an awesome player to watch. Really nice jersey, really classic. I think one of the better classic uniforms in all of the NHL. But I do think the white jersey is a better look and just has a little bit more going on, so that's why this one is number 20 on my list. All right, at number 19, this just kind of worked out the way it is, but it is number 19, Marcus Naslund, and it's the Vancouver Canucks. This is easily by far my favorite jersey the Canucks have ever worn in their history. I think it's their best color scheme. I love this logo. They have this logo now, but they don't have the same color scheme, and I think it definitely takes the logo down a few notches. I love the striping the way it is. They have the stick in the rink as well with the C the way it is, but they've again changed the logo color, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Again, we love the sparkle going on. We saw that with Ottawa. Now we see it again here with Vancouver. This jersey just pops, and I first remember watching it against the Minnesota Wild in the playoffs with Todd Bertuzzi and Marcus Naslund. And they lost that series, but I really love their uniforms. And let's take a look at the back of this one. It's almost as pretty as the front. We've got Naslund in that sparkly silver, and the name really looks beautiful. This is, just an absolute gorgeous jersey, and really glad it's in my collection. All right, at number 18, this is a very popular jersey during the time, but not very many people got it because they only wore it once. But this was the World Cup of Hockey Team North America jersey, and I really like the numbers on this one and the logo in particular. You can see the NA and the XX111, which stands for 23. The team that was on this, the people on this team had to be under 23 years old from North America, and they were actually really good. This is Connor McDavid. I also really like the pattern in the bottom with the gray. That's really well done. The striping up the side is pretty reminiscent of soccer jerseys, but the numbers are really well designed. I like the outline. Kind of reminds me of a Pittsburgh Steelers font, but you can just see how beautiful this jersey is. It's my only Adidas jersey in the collection, and that patch is just gorgeous as well. So that's why it's number 18 on my list, one that really pops when it's on the ice. All right, now number 17 on the list. This is what I mean when I really liked when jerseys tried different things and weren't afraid to be creative. I really like the bottom right there with the arrows. I think that's a really nice touch. The logo is absolutely beautiful. You can see all that stitching there is super well done. I like the numbers the way they are. I like the secondary logo, which they did use on another one of their jerseys as their primary logo. The collar is great as well. And then a really small touch that you don't see, I really like the pattern that they went with here. It definitely, is reminiscent of the bird and its feathers. So overall, this is just a really beautiful jersey. If I flip it, you can see the name on the back. One of the few white jerseys in my collection. So Heinz No idea who that player is, but this was a gorgeous jersey. Really glad it's in my collection, and that is why it is number 17. All right, at number 16, we have the Calgary Flames, and this is a Jarome Iginla jersey. This is the jersey they currently wear as their home jersey, and I think it's my favorite jersey that they wear. I really like the black C. If I go in a little bit closer, you can see the really nice embroidery on it. I just like the black on red. I think that really pops. Not a lot of teams like to do that contrast between the dark on the already dark. I think it works really well. I really like the striping as well. There's just enough black and yellow to really make the jersey pop. And then to kind of finish it off, the Alberta flag is just great. And then on the other side, you can see the Canadian flag. If I just flip it there. So, I don't know. It's the only jersey in the league that has the Canadian flag incorporated with the jersey. I think that's really cool. And I like also how they incorporate Alberta. If I flip this one over, you can see the Canadian flag and Alberta flag really well. The name Iginla is beautiful. Of course, Jarome Iginla is probably the best player to ever come out of the Calgary Flames. He didn't win a cup. He came oh so close in 2004, but you know that controversial goal did not count, and they ended up losing. But yeah, he was one of the best players of his generation, and definitely will be in the Hall of Fame if he hasn't been inducted already. So that's number 16. All right, with number 15, this is one of those classic jerseys that really hasn't changed over the years. Of course, this is Bobby Orr, number 4, who's considered the greatest defenseman of all time. And this is the jersey he wore. It's very similar to the jersey they wear now. The biggest difference is the yellow is more incorporated in this jersey than it is in the current jersey. But this jersey is just beautiful. You can see the stitching is great. You can see the championship patch from 2011 there. And if I zoom in here, we've got the 50th anniversary of the Boston Bruins. So from 1973-74, that's when this jersey was being worn. And I just really love the jersey. I think it's one of the best jerseys that's black and yellow. Pittsburgh Steelers comes to mind as well. But man, this jersey looks great on the ice. And Bobby Orr, you know, a classic player. I'm not a huge fan of black jerseys in general. Taking a look at the back here. But this is an exception. I think there's just enough yellow and white to really contrast all the black going on. And I think, yeah, this is, you know, one of the best uniforms in sports when the Bruins play at home. And, yeah, just an amazing jersey for a great player and well-deserving of number 15 on my list. I definitely think we went out of order a little bit, so the last few numbers might not be in correct order, but we'll just call this one the next one. It's number 14, but there's a few more that were miscounted. So, but yeah, this is a beautiful classic jersey. This is one of my favorite Kings jerseys they ever wore. This is a Gretzky jersey, which I'll show you on the back. But yeah, I really love the logo. I think this is probably their best logo they've ever had. I wish they still used it now. I love the stitching going on. It's very simple, very reminiscent of the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of their colors. I think they had a purple version as this as well. I think the yellow one looks a little bit better. If I flip this, you can see the back. So yeah, just a big Gretzky purple, really pops. I know, very similar to the Nashville Predators, which again, I'm hinting that you might see a little bit later on in this list, but never can go wrong with a Gretzky jersey. I think this was one of the best Kings jerseys, and I definitely enjoy it when they wear it as throwbacks today. All right, continuing on our list, this is number 13, but like I said, it's a little bit out of order, so we'll just keep going. But yeah, this is David Backes and the St. Louis Blues. So I got David Backes because he's the best player to ever come from Mankato, my college, and I just really liked how he plays the game. And this is their Reebok version, so the one that they just came out with when Reebok. The piping's a little bit different than their current jersey, and they also have yellow numbers, which I'm a fan of. I like the yellow numbers. My only really big problem with this jersey is the logo. the two blues don't really contrast enough, so the logo kind of disappears into the rest of the jersey. I wish the logo was a yellow or a white. I think that would really make the whole jersey pop. If you take a look at the back, you know, it's kind of got that Reebok piping that, you know, is almost on all their other jerseys. But the way their numbers pop is the way I wish the logo on the front would pop, either being white or yellow. I think that would make probably an already great uniform even better. But for now, it's on my list at number 13, David Backes. All right, at number 12, we have probably one of the most iconic hockey jerseys of all time. This is, of course, the home jersey of the Montreal Canadiens, which they haven't changed in almost 100 years. And the logo is just, you know, super classic. I love how it's incorporated with the stripe behind it. The away jersey doesn't do that, and I wish it did. I think this is probably in the top 5 best uniforms on the ice, easily when they play at home. I love the blue Breezers and the red socks and the red jerseys that go along with this. This has, of course, the classic 1983 to 93 Stanley Cup patch, which is just gorgeous. And, of course, this is a Patrick Roy jersey, who is, you know, arguably one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie of all time, winning a couple of cups with the Canadiens and winning another couple with the Colorado Avalanche. So if we flip it, we can see that beautiful name of Patrick Roy. You know, he's got a lot of history there. Really enjoyed his time there. Yeah, this is just what I think of when I think of classic jerseys that haven't changed over time and that don't really need to change. They're just kind of perfect the way they are. So, yeah, the Canadiens just have something great going, and I really hope they stick with this uniform for a long time to come. So we're just going to call this number 12 again because it's tied with the Canadiens and because my numbers are off. I'll get my top 10 correct, but for the now, these last few jerseys that before the top 10, I don't know, I just kind of miscounted, and that's when it's happened. But here we are. This is one of my favorite jerseys I've ever worn. Of course, it's the Minnesota Wild, my favorite team, and this is my favorite Wild jersey that I own, or one of my favorite Wild jerseys. Actually, another one potentially coming up. But yeah, I just like the logo. The circle logo works well with the name. The State of Hockey patch was put on. I really like that addition. I just really like the green and the red incorporated. This jersey works great on the ice because there's green helmets and green pants, but the red socks really stand out. So if I flip it, this is, of course, Mikko Koivu, longtime captain of the Minnesota Wild, and probably the first Wild to get his number retired when he is all done playing. I just love the gold or kind of this metallic cream that they use instead of the kind of metallic gold in the jersey, in the logo. I think it just works really well. I wish they still had this as a home jersey. I think it's their best home uniform that they've had in a while, and easily their best dark jersey. So that's the Minnesota Wild and Mikko Koivu. So here we are. We're going to call this tied for 11th. There's actually 3 that will be tied for 11th, so that's how bad my counting was off. But this is another Minnesota Wild jersey, and this is my favorite camo jersey they've ever worn, and it's actually the only jersey in my collection that's personalized with my name and favorite number on the back. So obviously my favorite number is 19. I've always just loved that number. It's a number that kind of deals with captains and one of the better players, usually forwards on the team. But I really like the white and brown logo. I think it works really well with the backdrop of the busy camo. I like the numbers the way they are. Overall, I just think this jersey is just beautiful. I wish they worked as a camo jersey more than what they currently do, which is more of a dark green. If I flip it, you can see that name and number just really well done, put on professionally. It's the original Minnesota Wild font, which I still think is their best font, and I don't really understood why they went away with it as early as they did. But this jersey is just beautiful. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I wear it a lot, especially on Military Appreciation Night. And it's definitely got a soft spot in my collection for being personalized. So yeah, here we are again at number 11. The counting was off again, so apologize for that. But yeah, when I meant to say that I'm not a huge fan of black home jerseys, this would be the exception. I think this jersey is beautiful. There's almost nothing I would change about it. I love the big stripes at the bottom. I love this logo. I think this is the best Tampa Bay Lightning logo. I know a lot of people don't like the two different fonts. I think it works great. This is a great incorporation of the team with the state. I love the corner patch with the lightning and the Florida state symbol. And yeah, this is just a great jersey. This was the jersey they actually were on the game that they won the Stanley Cup in 2004. They were wearing black at that time. I believe that was the first Stanley Cup where the home team wore a dark jersey as opposed to white. So that's pretty cool. And then you can see the back is Vincent Lecavalier, who is one of the greatest Lightning players of all time, right up there with Marty St. Louis. So he will have his number retired at some point by the franchise. But yeah, he's a great player and a great team. And yeah, I just thought this jersey was really well done, and that's why it's so high on my collection. So here we are on our final number 11, and this is basically the epitome of simplicity making brilliance. I just love everything about this jersey in terms of the striping. It's perfectly done. It's very similar to the San Jose Sharks, but for some reason this jersey pops a lot more than that Sharks jersey. Way down the list, I think the white and orange and black just works so well. The logo, arguably probably the best logo in the NHL. It's so simple, but so clever in the way it's a flying P. I like the orange numbers, how they overlap with the other orange. I think that's a nice touch. They're not afraid to go outside. And then if you look on the back, it's got one of those classic things where the nameplate is white and it stands out from the rest of the league. I like that touch. I think it's a cool kind of reminder of the past. And yeah, Danny Briere is my favorite player for the Flyers. He also played a long time for the Buffalo Sabres. Just a really fun guy to watch. And that was the reason I got his jersey. And yeah, this is one of those jerseys that they haven't changed in a long time. And again, I hope they don't, because there's nothing wrong with the jersey, and it's just beautiful when it's on the ice. All right, so we are finally in the top 10. I know my numbers were screwed up for the last few jerseys, but this is the definitive number 10 jersey in my collection. Of course, it's the Colorado Avalanche dark jersey with Joe Sakic on it. This jersey is just beautiful in every way it's designed. Of course, the logo is one of the best in all of hockey. They haven't switched it since they changed from the Nordiques, and I hope they never will. It's such a great logo. I love the way the snow goes down the A with the big puck. That's just great. The mountains at the bottom is just a great design in the way that it's not a straight line, and it also is incorporated on the sleeves. This is kind of what all the 90s jerseys was like, but this was the best of all of them. The way that the colors came down from the shoulders all the way down, but I really like the zigzag pattern. The Avalanche have also been known for having some of the distinctive fonts creative, and this is probably my favorite version. You also have the Bigfoot, which is just a great corner patch, connects to the Sasquatch and the Avalanche. If I flip this to the back, you can really see that font and the arch font of the name. It's just beautifully designed. I love the way the 19 really pops. And yeah, this jersey is just beautiful. There's a reason I think it's number 10, or the reason it's number 10 on my list. And there's a reason that they still wear a jersey almost identical to this today. The fans love it. The players seem to love it. And yeah, I hope the Avalanche keep this color scheme and keep this jersey for years to come. All right, at number 9, I've been saying it for a long time, and here it is finally. This is the gold Nashville Predators jersey. This is not the one they currently use. This is the Reebok one that a lot of fans fell in love with when they went to the Stanley Cup final, as you can see on the patch. And everything about this jersey was just brilliantly designed. And the logo is great. It's a recoloring. They made the logo simple than what it was before, but it's still great. It pops so much. The little piano in the sleeve is brilliant. You got the guitar pick as a shoulder patch, which has those 3 stars that connects to the Tennessee state flag. Of course, you've got the 100-year anniversary of the NHL. That's great. And the numbers are cool. They have their own font that really pops. And if I flip it to the back, this is the only team in the league that does this. We have the 5 lines that go through the number, which connects to being a guitar. So many aspects of the music are incorporated in this jersey. The back of jersey looks great. This is probably my favorite Reebok design jersey they've ever done, and one I hope that the Predators would take in consideration moving forward, because they just made their jerseys currently a little bit too plain, and this was perfect, and the fans love these. So I just hope that they try to incorporate a few more striping and everything into their jerseys moving forward. Even the name on the collar is such a nice touch. This is a great jersey, and coincidentally, number 9, just like Philip Forsberg, who is this jersey. All right, at number 8, I said that back before that the Wild red jersey was my favorite. I was forgetting about this one. This is actually my favorite Wild jersey, and I think this jersey is just perfect in every way it's designed. First of all, you have the best logo in sports, and it's very prominent. The only jersey the Wild currently have with that logo, or for the Wild they had, was only the white jersey. The home jersey wasn't even that logo, so they fixed that. They have it on their new logo, or their new jerseys now. But this was, I think, just the best version of everything about the Wild uniform. I love this font that they incorporated. It's the same one from the camo jersey, but the trim is so great. This is my favorite secondary logo they've ever had. I love that word mark. It just pops so much. I'm not a huge fan of their current word marks right now. And then I just love the striping. This is basically that 90s style, but with the correct colors, it can just make the jersey look so brilliant and so professional. If you flip the jersey, it looks just as brilliant on the back. We easily have the best numbers the Wild have ever had, and the best color scheme with the red and the gold and the green trim is so great. I love this font that they had. They don't use this font anymore, and I wish they did. I think it was unique. I thought it made those jerseys pop. You can see all that striping and all that gold. This is just the perfect way of having a white jersey with just enough color to make everything pop and it look great on the ice, and I wish it was still the Wild's current home uniform. So that is my number 7. All right, I misspoke. This is actually number 7. The last one was number 8. But this is one of my favorite classic vintage jerseys. It's actually by the Colorado Avalanche. This is the Quebec Nordiques, who are no longer a team in Quebec, but the Colorado Avalanche, as I mentioned. And this jersey is just brilliant in everything. The logo is so gorgeous. I love the igloo with the stick and the puck. That's just classic design at its finest. I love how many fleur-de-lis we have. It connects so well to the state flag of Montreal or province. I love the red trim on the numbers. This wasn't included in all their jerseys of their past. A lot of their jerseys didn't have the red trim. I think it's almost required to have it. Otherwise, it's too close to the Toronto Maple Leafs. If I flip this, you can see it's Peter Forsberg, who made most of his famous plays with the Colorado Avalanche. But this jersey is just so beautiful and everything. And yeah, you can't really tell in the video, but really, this is almost like a sky blue to like a royal blue. It's not the same blue as, say, the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's its own blue, and it looks so nice in person. This is such a gorgeous jersey, and I wish the Avalanche would wear it in throwbacks to come. All right, number 6, we have another one that kind of hits home. This is the Minnesota North Stars, and I just think this jersey is just brilliant in every way. I love the stripes. This is like that classic style where we have the yoke and then the stripes and the stripes at the bottom. I just think it looks so good with the yellow and the black accent and the green. I love how the numbers pop. Kind of reminds me of the Messier jersey, but even better. I like the yellow and the black trim on the yoke. It looks so nice. If you flip it, this is Dino Ciccarelli, who's arguably the greatest North Star to play of all time. And man, that jersey just looks beautiful on the back. The name is so nice. And just enough yellow and white to kind of contrast all the green going on. But yeah, this jersey is just brilliant in every way, and I wish they used this jersey as opposed to their current jersey for the Dallas Stars, because this one just looks so much better, and just pops so much more on the ice. So that is my number 6, Dino Ciccarelli, Minnesota North Stars. All right, number 5. This was really hard to pick. There's so many great jerseys, but this one is easily up there. This is just one of my favorite jerseys of all time, and everything. I love the logo. It's so great. I wish they still use this logo. I know Disney sold the rights, but this logo is perfect in every way. I don't know why you'd ever change it. The colors are amazing. The purple and the teal is just so great. It's such a great shoulder patch. Another just great nod to the main logo. And this one is definitely it has a soft spot because of being in the movie The Mighty Ducks and the exact same jersey being worn. I think the purple version looks better than the white version, just because you get a lot more color. The white version is beautiful as well. But man, there's nothing wrong with this jersey. I love how they wear it in throwbacks. And I know they brought back a jersey that was similar to this, but it just wasn't the same. And I don't know, this jersey's so great. Everything about it is just brilliant. And Paul Kariya, one of the best players to play during that time. Really fun player to watch. Really wanted him to win the Stanley Cup in 2003. Ended up not doing it against Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils. But yeah, this jersey's so great. It's one of my favorite to wear, and it's super high in my collection. Number 5, Anaheim Mighty Ducks. All right, at number 4, this epitomizes everything that I love about third jerseys and everything that I don't understand why this team would not have as their main jersey. This jersey is just perfect in every single way. The logo is gorgeous. It connects to New York way more than what their current jerseys are. I love the metallic and the silver. I love that font. It makes me think of a fire station and, the fire department, and that's very reminiscent of New York. I love the numbers and how much they pop with the 3D element. They have their current logo on the corners there with the New York Rangers. That's a great touch. This is a Gretzky jersey. And even though there's not a lot going on at the bottom, it just doesn't need it, because when you flip the jersey, there's so much color in the name that everything works about this jersey. It's so beautiful. It's so simple. But it doesn't make sense that this couldn't be their home jersey. The fans love it. The collectors love it. And it's definitely high on my list because of just how great it was designed. Wayne Gretzky didn't wear this jersey very many times. But man, it's an amazing jersey. I love wearing it. And that is why it's number 4 on my list. Alright, on number 3, this is easily my favorite vintage and classic jersey that the NHL wears. I just love this jersey. It's got the striping of the Chicago Blackhawks, but it enhances it with all the color going on. I love the numbers. The orange and blue is a great combination. It makes the logo pop so much. I love the logo. It's such a classic logo with the drop and everything. I mean, it's also the jersey that Wayne Gretzky wore most of his career, and he won all the Stanley Cups wearing this jersey, so that doesn't hurt. But yeah, this is just everything that was great about this design of jersey, and everything is just so good. I love the name, how big it is, and how big the number is, 99. I have several Gretzky jerseys in my collection, but this is easily my favorite and the one I wear the most. It's just so great. I wish this was their home jersey right now. I know it was for a couple of years, but they've since gone away with it, and the fans just don't understand why. This is a perfect jersey, and it never needs to be changed, in my opinion. And I wish they would go back to this as a full-time home jersey. All right, at number 2, this is probably one of the jerseys I'm most proud to have in my collection. It's definitely a collector's item now, and it's just beautiful in every single way. First of all, it's the only jersey I have that's this satiny material. College hockey went to this satiny material for a few years, and I don't know why they would ever go away with it. It was so unique at the time. You can just look again at the stitching of this. It's so beautiful in the way it's designed. I don't have any jerseys stitched this well. You know, it's probably the best one of the best logos ever designed. I love the big name Sue. We've got the shoulder patch, which is, you know, also Notre Dame's. We've got the amazing hemline on the collar there. I like the two stripes that come down the side. And then if you look on the back, this is a very special one to me as well, because only recently I got this one signed by Zach Parise himself, and you can see that signature. So beautiful. You can see the Z and the A and the P and even the number 11. So great that he signed it so beautifully. And this jersey is definitely probably a collector's item at this point. I haven't decided if I'm going to frame it yet. I don't wear it very often just because it is signed. But man, this jersey is so great. And it's hard to not be number one on my list. But number one, you'll see it is a great jersey and definitely worth the wait. But here's number two, Zach Parise, North Dakota Fighting Sioux. All right, at number one, we have the San Jose Sharks, and this is my favorite jersey that I can wear. I wear it all the time, especially during the Sharks playoff games, and I just think everything about this jersey is perfect. It's probably got the best logo in all of hockey. It's so great. I love the stick and the shark, so intimidating. It's got that classic style, but it's just used the best that it could be with the black lines, the black yoke, the teal. I love the outline of the orange. You know, it's number 19, Joe Thornton, which is one of my favorite players. You know, I have a lot of 19 jerseys, but this one is probably my favorite. It's got an amazing shoulder patch, which they used to incorporate as their third jersey, but no longer do. If I flip it to the back, you know, the name is pretty simple, but the rest of the jersey is just so nicely designed. Teal is my favorite color, so that's probably why it's, you know, one of my favorite jerseys to wear. And, you know, San Jose is one of my favorite teams as well. So, you know, that's why this is number one. You know, best color combination, I think, in all of hockey, and just a great jersey. I don't know why they didn't ever continue to use this one. The one they use now is a little bit different. They got rid of a lot of the black, made it a lot more teal, and I just think the way it was here was probably the best that it ever could be, and the way I wish they would go back to. So that is my number one jersey in a long collection, and I'm going to flip it back to me for the final thoughts. So that's it, guys. I mean, I know it's a lot of collecting and a really big collection, but I'm really satisfied. I'm hoping to add one or two more jerseys to the collection. I'd love to have a Mike Modano of that Dallas Stars with the star kind of being incorporated into the rest of the design. I'm curious to see what Seattle's going to design. I know there's a few jerseys of teams that I don't have, like the New Jersey Devils, New York Islanders, the Winnipeg Jets. I just needed to stop this collection at some point just because it's so hard to wear all of these, and not really sure how else to display them. So I hang them up during games and everything like that. But I really only root for four teams: the San Jose Sharks, Detroit Red Wings, Minnesota Wild, and Washington Capitals. So the rest of the jerseys are just kind of, you know, fun things to collect. I'm not really rooting for any of those teams. There's a few teams I don't really like, that being Pittsburgh Penguins, Chicago Blackhawks, LA Kings, and you know, Vancouver Canucks. But really, there's not a lot of other teams I really have strong feelings about. You know, there's most of the teams I don't like are mostly just because they're rivals with the teams that I do like. So that's really where it kind of comes in. But yeah, I'm glad you watched this. I'm looking forward to putting all this together. And yeah, what an amazing collection. And, you know, hopefully we'll get those last few jerseys and finish it off strong.